So pretty much anytime I show a property, my clients and I usually encounter something that's unusual. But if you're looking to do some decorating here in 2024, I want to discuss a few decorating don'ts for 2024 or any other time you might be redecorating your home. So the first one is any built-in permanent artwork or statues. Be very careful with these. There was a listing that had a really interesting statue in it. And when you looked at the picture of the statue online, you were more interested in what these statues were doing than actually looking at the pictures of the house itself. So anytime you have anything built in like that, it's going to cost people money to get rid of it. So it's a real turnoff. So avoid any permanent artwork or statues that are built into the house that will require the buyer to do a lot of work to get rid of them. Avoid overly textured walls or ceilings. There are a lot of these textures that have sparks of color to them, but you can't sand off the texture. You have to hang drywall over that texture. And buyers see this when they're looking. So avoid any textured walls or ceilings, and those burlap walls are the worst, you know what I mean? So anytime that you have textured walls or ceilings, just avoid that because it's bad news for buyers who are coming in to buy your house later on. I know it's fun to have themed bedrooms, especially for small children, but avoid making permanent modifications to the house for those themed rooms because they're hard to undo after the children get older. So some slight modifications will be fine. Just try to work with the furnishings more so than changing the structure of the rooms. And really be careful with murals in particular. Sometimes those are a little hard to get rid of after the kiddos grow up. So just keep that in mind. And future buyers aren't going to be in love with that outdoor landscape mural that you might put up. So popular probably 20 years ago. So avoid oddly colored fixtures. I walked into a house one time that had brown walls and a brown toilet and a brown sink. Really, I don't know how anyone could have told whether that bathroom was dirty or not. So make sure that you stay away from oddly colored fixtures, overly personalized fixtures. Another thing to keep in mind is if you build media nooks for current technology, just understand that technology changes pretty quickly. So that nook you make today may not be usable tomorrow. So avoid that if you can. If you can just put some nice shelving in or something like that, that'll work for everybody. That's safer. Avoid overly personalized or colored blinds. We had those in the 1990s and in the 2000s, but people like the basic white faux wood blinds, or the vinyl blinds are fine as well. Just avoid strange colors when you put those things up because they'll be gone, they'll be over in the blink of an eye, and then you'll be stuck with those colors. Believe me, I know about that. Avoid unusual light fixtures as well. When we moved into our house, we had this makeshift light fixture in the dining room that I'm sure fit in with the theme at one time, but really didn't fit our lifestyle after the fact, so it had to go. Just avoid those and use normal fixtures. If you want to have light fixtures that are a little different while you're living in the house, it's fine. Just change them out when you get ready to sell. Avoid unpopular colors like those really, really dark purples. I've seen the sage greens, the Pepto pinks. Just avoid those, especially on doors and trim. If you want to paint the room that color and then change it later, that's fine. But once you hit the doors and the trim and the ceilings with those odd colors, or bring in, fixtures that have those colors, that's a bit harder to deal with. So avoid those when you can. And in general, just avoid any materials that are hard to keep clean because you're not going to be able to clean them, and then other people aren't either. And they're just going to have to be ripped out in the future. So anything that's hard to keep clean is not going to work in a house for anyone. So just avoid that. If you can think of anything else that you've seen or heard about that is just a decorating don't, please feel free to share that with us in the comments so that we can talk about it in a future video. And if you have questions about this topic or any others that are real estate related, feel free to contact me at 513-236-1254, private message me. If you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe. Thanks. Bye.